Fiona, good morning.
Morning, Neil. How are you?
Fiona O'Leary, are you down in West Cork?
I am, that's correct, near Dunman Way. Yeah,
all right, okay. And you have kind of crossed swords with an American film company, isn't that right?
That's correct, yeah. Basically, they're a film company in California called Cinema Libre. They are distributors for Andrew Wakefield's film Vaxxed. It's a movie, basically, that is claiming that vaccines are dangerous and also claiming that vaccines cause autism. Wakefield is a discredited doctor that told the whole world back in 1998 that there was a link between the MMR vaccine and autism. We all know that that is not true, and that has been proven countless times scientifically. However, this film has it aired in April of this year, and it's making its way across America and into Europe as well. And I just think it's a very, very worrying film because it's sending a message of misinformation to society, not just about autism, but about vaccines in general, claiming that there are no safe vaccines and that people should choose just to, not vaccinate their children and hope for the best. And these diseases like measles and whooping cough and polio, they're very serious diseases which were nearly eradicated, but sadly we see them returning because parents are really buying into this. And it's a very big concern of mine because I have autistic children, and we campaign in relation to unregulated products that are given to autistic children. And this is happening because parents believe that the vaccines cause autism and they're giving them dangerous products like MMS and bleach products. So it's a very worrying issue.
Is it one child you have or is it more?
I have 2 children on the autistic spectrum. I have 5 children altogether and 2 of them are diagnosed.
And did you vaccinate any of those at birth or did you take anything before they were born?
All my children are vaccinated.
Right. And you don't in any way think that the vaccinations had anything to do with their conditions, no?
No, I don't. And I've also studied autism in UCC, and we can trace autism back to the late 18th century. Autism has always been there. And, this has been scientifically proven countless times, and people aren't listening to scientists and specialists in their field. They're listening to conspiracy theorists, which is what's going on here. And the point with Wakefield is that he's had 20 years to replicate his studies, and he's never done that. Instead, he's joined a conspiracy train, which is basically spreading a message of fear to parents.
Have you seen the movie Vax?
I have seen. Well, you can't see the movie because that's the other side to the story, that Wakefield won't put it on YouTube for free. So you have to pay to see the film. I've seen trailers and I've seen clips which have been basically, shown on YouTube from people that have seen it. So people that have gone to it have shown some parts of it, but it's not available freely. That's the other side to it. So if Wakefield really wanted this film to be seen, why isn't he giving the whole world the opportunity to see this for free? He's not.
And you have been campaigning against it and about what they're saying and what they're claiming to the point where the chief executive officer of the company wrote to you with a cease and desist letter. Is that right?
That's correct. Here on the 21st of July, I got an email with a letter attached at 2 o'clock in the morning, Irish time, so it woke me up. Just a letter, not written by a lawyer, just to clarify, but by this man, the CEO, and basically telling me to shut up. I can't talk to anyone, not even the cat, about this film. And if I didn't comply, that they would take action and demand costs for loss of funds for their film. I can't stop their film now. I mean, it's not physically possible for me to do that, especially when I live in Ireland. And there's thousands of people speaking out against this movement. It's not just me. But they chose to pick on a mother and a campaigner and kind of bully and intimidate me. I've received no other legal letters of any kind, but what they did say in Jezebel's media site, they actually said they were going to prosecute me.
So they haven't a hope of prosecuting you in a foreign country.
I know, but I mean...
that's a load of nonsense.
I know it's nonsense, but it's horrible because it's not just the letter. Since that has begun, I've received horrendous harassment online. There's a petition made against me, directed at the Irish government to tell me to shut up, which has nearly 500 signatures. I'm getting abusive messages sent to me on Facebook. I'm getting emails. It's just horrible, and it's because I'm basically standing up for science and want people to be safe. It's not just autistic children. Babies that can't get vaccinations, so I'm talking about babies under the age of 2 months, they're the ones that are most likely to die from whooping cough and measles, okay? So they can't get their vaccination schedule. People with compromised immune system, if we don't have herd immunity, those people are at risk. And in 2014, just to clarify, there was 114,000 deaths of measles worldwide. That's just measles alone. And Wakefield doesn't talk about those deaths, okay? These people just don't exist in his eyes. You know, I'm not saying, okay? And
I can't say because I haven't seen the film. I don't know what their claims. I mean, all I know is that
their claims are. I mean, they're touring America at the moment, so we see their Q&As. So what they do is they have a conference and they have a big debate after. I just want to give some of the comments, you know, which is what they're saying. They are saying there are no safe vaccines. It's not just the MMR. They're talking about vaccines in general. They're also advising parents to stay away from their pediatrician. I think they're reckless statements, and especially if there is a parent of a newly diagnosed autistic child or a pregnant mother, which is what we're looking at here. They may, you know, actually buy into this and take these risks.
But come here, if you look at it, just say from my own perspective, me personally, and down through the years, I have spoken to so many parents of children who really claim and believe that various forms of vaccinations have damaged their children, whether it's MMR, whether it was swine flu, other aspects like that, you know. And they saw their children like change over a weekend, you know.
I know, and I've listened to some of those shows.
Yeah,
that's what I'm about to. I'm saying that listen, there are side effects to medications. We know that, okay? And I feel for those parents. I really, really do. No one is taking that away from them. But the science is there that says that vaccines do not cause autism, and this has been proven countless times. I'm not saying that some people can get side effects from medications, okay? But what's happening here is that we're seeing these people with this, you know, their stories, and we're seeing Wakefield and his cohorts coming in and just using them. They are exploiting these people. I've seen little children as young as 7 and 8, okay, with T-shirts of vax. I saw a little girl speaking at a conference there in, Nashville, they're touring at the moment, saying, I'm vaccine injured, don't vaccinate your children. They're
heavy-duty stuff.
And I'm sorry, but, like, what do we want, Neil? Do we want polio coming back? Do we want tetanus? Thousands, millions of people died from these. You know, they were disabled, measles can blind children, there's deaths in Ireland from measles.
Do you accept at all that there is kind of a bit of a cosy hand-in-glove relationship going on here, that vaccinations and indeed antibiotics are very big business in the world? There's a lot of money being made in them.
I don't really buy into the big pharma thing, and I'm called a pharma shill. I mean, this is what you can't debate with these people. I want to make this clear. There is like a mindset, like a conspiracy mindset, where if you speak out in any shape or form and say, well, actually, we've got the science to back this up, you're called a pharma shill. I am just an educated mother, okay? I would rather my children not die than get autism. That's the bottom line here. And that is the message that is being sent by these people. Oh, we'll risk death because we don't want our child to be autistic. What does that message feed back into my children who have to live in society on the autistic spectrum? They are seen as something that is worse than death. And on top of that, the psychological damage that autistic children are getting from being described as a vaccine-injured, brain-damaged person. You know, does anyone stop to think about that? Wakefield is exploiting autistic people. His film, I have seen clips, he just portrays this horrendous image of autism, of children rocking and banging and screaming, very, half-clothed, not fully clothed. They don't show the kind of regular life of an autistic child.
But does the movie show them as being perfectly healthy children before the vaccination?
No. What it is, it's like a propaganda, fear-mongering machine, and this is what's going on here. And that's what's been going on for the last 20 years with Wakefield. He has been given, you know, the green light to literally build a movement. And this movement, and it's very important that I say this, the anti-vax movement has led to the development of this biomedical world where all these unregulated products exist, like the bleach treatment MMS, which we've campaigned for the last 2.5 years on. So autistic children are being given
What is bleach treatment?
MMS is miracle mineral solution. It's basically chlorine dioxide that you put in your swimming pool. There's a cult called the Genesis 2 Church. We were on prime time a year ago talking about this. They tell parents that their autistic children have worms in their bodies, and by giving them this bleach, they can rid these worms and basically cure them from autism. Now, all of these products are unproven. They're all unregulated, but they're for sale. They were even for sale in Ireland last year.
But shouldn't we forget about that, because that clearly is wacky stuff. But
no, it's linked to the anti-vax movement because parents are told that their children are vaccine injured, that they're full of metals and toxic chemicals or whatever, and by giving these unregulated products, they can so-called recover their children. So they're married to each other. We didn't have these unregulated products until Wakefield came out and said, "Oh, vaccines cause autism."
But Fiona, we did have something that was described as safe at the time, and that was thalidomide.
Yeah, but you're linking into. I'm trying to make a point here, and it's an important point for your listeners today because it's happening here in Ireland. There's actually a huge worry around these unregulated products because we don't have legislation. Autistic children are basically guinea pigs, and that's the bottom line here. They can be given chelation, they can be given HBOT, GCMAF, which is an unregulated blood product, this bleach product. There's so many quack cures that I've lost count, and every year it's getting worse. And it didn't happen until this claim of vaccines causing autism. It's an industry. They want this. You run about big pharma and money. This is the big industry. These people are making millions out of autistic children. They're fleecing parents who are vulnerable. It's not the parents' fault, Neil. You know, they're left without little supports. I live in Ireland. I have autistic children. The supports are rubbish. They're not there.
Do you feel any more comfortable by the fact that it won't go on general release, though? They can only be viewed by paying for it online.
No, because because the thing is, what we see in America, it's crazy. I'm sorry, I have to say this, but they have support there from politicians, from film stars, from celebrities. There is a huge support, and we don't have enough support. The autistic community don't have enough support. Warning people, what really makes me angry, I suppose, and this is it. You know, Vaxxed and the team in Wakefield harp on about freedom of speech. We want to have our voices heard. But when an autistic woman stands up, I have Asperger's, I don't know if you're aware of that.
No.
I have. I'm on the spectrum as well. But when we speak out, I suppose, when the autistic community speak out, we're threatened, we're intimidated.
Yeah.
Shut up or else.
Didn't Robert De Niro pull that from the Tribeca Film Festival? Didn't he?
No, it wasn't him. It was the outcry from the science community and from people with common sense. What happened was it was pulled from the Tribeca Film Festival. Then he came out and said that it shouldn't have been pulled. So he kind of backtracked. He has an autistic child himself, and I think his wife believes in this vaccine causation theory as well.
Yeah.
And because of De Niro's backtracking, that has made it worse. So they're using Robert De Niro.
But he may have backtracked, but it wasn't shown at Tribeca. Sure, it wasn't.
It wasn't, but it's been shown in other. I mean, it was shown in Nashville the other night. I was talking to a news station there actually yesterday. So it is getting, it's being aired. That's the point. And I mean, it's going to be out on DVD soon as well, as far as I know.
And does it worry you that they may come after damages and compensation?
No, because I've done nothing wrong. I have not defamed anybody. I've actually just repeated their statements, their reckless statements. And like I said, it's not just me. We want to stop these products. That's the bottom line for us, Neil. We want to stop children being abused with bleach and other unregulated products. The anti-vax movement are the ones basically driving that industry, okay? That's what I got into this campaigning for in the first place, because these products were available to me. I could purchase them here in Ireland. It's not just happening in America. And, freedom of speech should apply for everybody. And that's what I don't understand here. This film company are basically, ridiculous because they should welcome criticism. They should welcome debate.
Have you handed a copy of the letter to a lawyer or taken any...
I've spoken to lawyers, not just in Ireland, but in America as well. And I have huge support. I mean, people are saying it would be great if we could get into a courtroom because we could highlight how serious this issue is.
Yeah.
To say that there are no safe vaccines is absolutely reckless.
Yeah.
And, the children are dying. I spoke to a mother actually here in Cork about a month ago whose daughter got measles, okay? She didn't vaccinate her daughter because of Wakefield. She nearly died. She ended up in hospital in really serious ill health. And whilst in hospital, this is here in Cork, there was a baby with the measles. The baby died. So people are dying here. So what are we saying? Oh, we won't bother vaccinating our children. So let's hope polio won't come back. Let's hope, all these things, tetanus, diphtheria. Is that what we want? Because this is what these people are saying. This is not about freedom of speech. This is about endangerment of children. And that's what we need to do. We need to stand up. And if they can't take healthy debate, it shows what they're doing is wrong.
Okay, well, do stay in touch with me if there are any developments.
Thanks, Neil.
And we'll talk again, Fiona. Cheers for now.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Fiona O'Leary down in Dunmanway, passionate lady. Our lines are open at 1-850-104-106. You can text 086-8104-106. Vaccine injury is not autism. The biomedical industry feeds on fear of big pharma and needs to undermine the establishment to thrive. It's an interesting text on that.